result magnificent, splendid.
I'm on it.
Roger, yes, sir.
Roaring, focus your attacks.
I'm on it.
Focus your attacks.
Not a problem.
Aye, aye. Nose mouth.
Greetings. Alrighty. Time to rumble.
Cool. Let's keep this up. Let's not lose our heads, though. Nice job. Good thing I'm here.
Very good going.
Anyone?
Is new high score. Yay! Alrighty. Time to rumble.
We need piece of cake. Good thing I'm here. No? Anyone?
Very good going.
Cool. Let's keep this up. Let's not lose our heads, though.
Is new high score. Yay!
Alright, so this starts the commentator part of the video. I might be fumbling over my words a bit, but I'll try and keep things relatively clear and concise. So in this section of the video, I'm going to be talking about how to perform the infinite buff glitch, how it works, what you can do with it, and some of the implications that it might have as far as things that essentially what some of the things you can do with it in its extremes are, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to set it to nighttime because I have the cooldown skills on Melia. So essentially the infinite buff glitch is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to give a character a buff basically infinitely. Now the term infinite is a little bit not quite what is happening, as we will see here that I start showing off. But in order to perform it, you set up your buffs with Melia, have one of the AI party members use an art, and then switch them out of the party while they're still performing the art. This will prevent the character from having their in-battle state cleared, and as you can see now, Charlotte still has her physical defense up from the start of battle, as well as a ether up buff. So the important thing to know about this is that this can be set a number of ways. If you start a combat and run away, or end the combat, it will go away, as well as if you move the character in the party, the buffs will also be removed. So there's a bit more you can do with this than just simply buffing a single character, having a few buffs without Melia in the party, because if that's all there was to it, it wouldn't be terribly interesting. But something else that you can do with it, and I'm only going to be setting up 2 layers of buff from this point forward, just simply for the sake of saving some time.
Focus your attack.
But one of the things you can do is, I will set it up on Riki. I'll get Reyn in the party. We will set up some strength up on Reyn.
Absolution. Focus your attack. Gotcha.
Not a problem.
And then onto Charla, we will actually go ahead and set up both ether and strength.
Summon copy. Focus your attacks. Okay.
Understood.
So as you can see, Charlotte's maintained the ether up. And now we'll go ahead and set up some strength up on her.
Fighting spirit is mine. Focus your attacks. Gotcha.
Roger.
And now we'll switch to the 3 characters that we performed the glitch on. As you can see, all 3 of them are still maintaining their buffs, and Charlotte has both the ether up and the strength up. So essentially what this means is that you can stack any number of buffs onto any number of characters. So if you wanted to, you could set up 3 stacks of ether, strength, agility, regenerate, physical protect, and ether protect on any character from Melia summons. This has a lot of this could have a lot of potential for things such as certain things for trivializing super bosses or certain super boss challenges, as well as the fact that you can actually maintain this into time attacks. Now, as of right now, there hasn't been a ruling made on whether or not this is going to be allowed in time attacks, but if this is allowed, it could allow for a lot of different strategies than what are currently being used, especially for the free category. This can be maintained both into free and restricted modes. And one of the things that is noteworthy about this is that you are essentially able to start a time attack with 60% up in a given stat. 60% extra ether, 60% extra strength, etc. And this has a lot of potential to really change the way that we approach time attacks if it is allowed. Again, I'm going to keep repeating the if it is allowed because as right now it is very unclear whether or not this is going to be allowed because it is something that requires pre-setup and it is something that is it's something that it's very clear that the game is supposed to be clearing this, but it's not. If you go into a time attack and you complete the time attack, these buffs will be removed and you'll have to reset them up before re-entering a new time attack, for example. So that's about all there is to say about this glitch for right now. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do with it than I'm showing in this video. This is kind of just a preliminary showcase of what you can do with it. I will probably be playing with it more in the future, but for right now, I'm not going to be submitting these runs to the leaderboard until we decide what we want to do with it. And pretty much anything I do involving this glitch will be related to that mentality of I'm doing it for fun, not necessarily for competition. Like I said, it is not known if this is going to be allowed yet. It might be, in which case, fair game. But for right now, if you do play with this, keep that in mind that it might not be allowed on the leaderboard in the future. With all that out of the way, though, I think that's about it for this video. I do hope that you learned something and that this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.